Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to your grammar class. So, in last video, we have discussed about verbs, transitive and intransitive verb. And today, we are going to learn about finite and non-finite verbs. So, let us start our chapter.
Verbs can also be classified as finite and non-finite verbs. What is a finite verb? A finite verb has to agree with its subject in person and number. Therefore, it changes its form accordingly. A finite verb is one that indicates tense, whether past, present or future, number, whether the subject is singular or plural, person, whether it is used in first, second or third person. Or we can say that a verb that changes according to the subject or the tense is known as a finite verb. Now let us see example. I come daily. I came yesterday. I shall come tomorrow. The boys play cricket. You break my plate. Here, all the underlined words are finite verbs because they change according to the tense, number and person of the subject. Clear? So, what is a non-finite verb? A non-finite verb has no tense, number or person. They do not change according to the tense, number and person of the subject. For example, we like reading, I liked reading, she likes reading. Here the underlined part like, liked, likes changes according to the subject and tense. So the underlined part is finite verb and reading, which is not changing according to the subject, is non-finite verb. Clear? Now let us see difference between finite and non-finite verbs. Where do we use finite verbs? Finite verbs act as a verb, whereas non-finite verbs, they do not act as a verb. Example, they got home very late last night. Here, got is a finite verb and it is used as a main verb. Sailing is my favorite sport. So here, sailing, it is a verb, but it is not acting as a verb in this particular sentence. Finite verb act as the main verb of a clause, whereas non-finite verbs acts as noun, adjectives and adverbs. Example, I live in Germany. Here live is the main verb, whereas the sleeping cat is brown. Here sleeping is describing the noun, so it is used as an adjective. Finite verbs indicate person, number and tense, whereas non-finite verbs do not indicate person, number and tense. For example, she was waiting in the room before he came in. Here was waiting and came are finite verbs. And she tiptoed round the house so as not to wake anyone. To wake is a non-finite verb here. Finite verbs are used in present tense and past tense, whereas non-finites are used as infinitives, gerunds and participles. Example, you promised me the last ticket. I struggle to understand. Finite verbs appear in dependent and independent clauses, whereas non-finite verbs appear in participle and gerund participle clauses. Clear? So now let us discuss about three types of non-finite verbs. First, infinitives. They are in form of to plus first form of verb. Second, participles. They are in form of first form of verb plus ing or third form of verb, or having plus third form of verb. And third one is gerund. They are always in form of V1 plus ing. Now, what are the infinitives? It is a non-finite verb that expresses an action. It is generally preceded by preposition to. For example, I want to play. Here, want is a finite verb and to play is a non-finite verb, and it is infinitive. He likes to eat ice cream. He made me write a letter. When an infinitive is used without to, it is called a bare infinitive. As you can see in the last example, he made me write a letter. I have not written to with it because here this write is acting as a bare infinitive. Clear? Now let us see where do we use infinitives. Infinitives can be used to indicate the purpose of an action. Example, he brought some flowers to give to his wife. Here this to give is showing the purpose of an action. Infinitives can be used as subject in the sentence. For example, to swim in that sea may be dangerous. To swim is acting as a subject in this sentence. It can act as direct object of the sentence. I like to write in English. Here, to write is acting as a direct object to the main verb like. Infinitives also act as subject complement. Example, his ambition is to fly. To fly is a subject complement here. Infinitives also act as an adjective. This is the best time to practice. To practice is an adjective here. Infinitives can also act as an adverb. Example, I can't wait to see. Here to see is used as an adverb. Infinitives can also be used after an adjective. Example, it is important to be patient. So here to be is infinitive which is used after an adjective. Infinitives can also be used after a noun or pronoun object referring to a person. Example, can I ask you to help me with something? Here you is the object and to help is used after the pronoun you. Infinitives can also be used with question words. Example, do you understand what to do? To do here is an infinitive which is used with a question word. I hope it is clear. Now let us see where bare infinitives or zero infinitives are used. We don't use to with infinitives when we are using modal auxiliary verbs. Example, my sister could play the piano when she was 5. Here, could is a modal and play is infinitive, and we are not using to with play. So here, play is used as zero infinitive or bare infinitive. Clear? After certain verbs like hear, see, make, let, we don't use to with infinitive. He saw her fall from the cliff. He saw her we will not write to fall. We will use bare infinitive here. So we have not written to with fall. After expressions like would rather and had better, we don't use to with infinitives. We use, or we can say, we use bare infinitive. I would rather stay at home than go out tonight. And zero infinitives or bare infinitives are used with why. Why wait until tomorrow? Here wait is a zero infinitive or bare infinitive. Moving on to the participles do the work of both verb and adjective. There are three forms of participles. First, present participle, they are in form of ing plus first form of verb, and it shows an action that is going on. Second, past participle, third form of verb is used as past participle. It represents a completed action. And third participle is perfect participle, and its form is having plus third form of verb, and it shows an action completed at some past time. Now let us see where do we use present participle. Present participle can be used as a part of the continuous form of a verb. Example, he is reading a book. Reading here is used as a participle. It can be used as an adjective. The smiling girl is my sister. Smiling is a participle here. Present participle can be used as a gerund. Mary is interested in reading books. Present participle can be used after verbs of perception. I saw them crossing the street. Crossing is a participle here. It can be used with the verbs like spend and waste. Don't waste time playing computer games. Playing is a participle form of verb. It can be used with the verbs like catch and find. Don't let him catch you reading his letters. And it can be used for two actions at the same time. He left the room laughing. Here, laughing is a form of present participle. Where do we use past participle? Past participles can be used as an adjective. Example, spoken words cannot be revoked. It can be used with the auxiliary verb have to form the perfect aspect. Example, when I came, he had left. Had left. Here left is a form of past participle. It can be used with the verb be to form the passive form of verb. Example, this house was built in 1815. Past participles are used to make one of the past form for the modal verb. Example, I should have finished by the middle of the week. Finished is a form of past participle. It is used to replace a subject plus passive verb construction. Example, she entered accompanied by her daughters. Past participles are also used after want, have, and like plus direct object. Example, I want this text translated by noon. Clear? Moving on to perfect participle. Perfect participle, it shows an action completed at some past time. They are in form of having plus third form of verb. Example, having worked hard, Ram succeeded. Having written a letter, Mohan posted it. Having finished his work, Harry was ready for play. So having worked, having written, having finished, are perfect participle form of non-finite verbs. Moving on to gerunds. The present participle and the gerund have the same form, that is V1 plus ing form, but their functions are different. How? The participle acts as an adjective, whereas gerund acts as a noun. Now let us see where do we use gerund form of verbs. It can be used as a subject of a sentence. Example, writing in English is difficult. Here writing is acting as a subject, so here it is used as a gerund. It can be used as direct object of a sentence. Example, I like writing in English. Here, writing is the direct object to the verb like. Gerund can also be used as a subjective complement. For example, my cat's favorite activity is sleeping. Gerund can be used as an object of a preposition. For example, we shall be interested in hearing your comments. Here, hearing is an object to the preposition in. Or we can use gerund after certain expressions. For example, my cat's favorite activity is sleeping. One of his duties is doing homework. Clear?
I hope the concept of finite and non-finite verb is clear to you now. Do exercise in your book and don't copy it from the PDF. So everybody do your work and we will discuss our doubts in the Zoom session. Till then, bye bye and take care.